Alright, so we are continuing into Chapter 2 of Attack of the Clones, or Chapter 26 overall. And I do want to add one other thing, because I had mentioned at the end of the previous video that maybe with this new webcam, the video size is small. Oh, yeah, it's a lot smaller. So just to help explain that, because the laptop webcam has to apply gain to see me because its light sensitivity is so low compared to this. That gain adds a lot of noise, which is hard to compress. This, because of better light sensitivity, I also do have a window open back there that's helping with ambient light, but it still is, its light sensitivity is far better, so it's a much smoother image, compresses so much nicer. I'm actually really impressed by that. So, yeah. Anyway, let's get to this chapter, which, alright, Salvatore, don't let me down. I'm also really liking how this chapter is going. Immediately, we are introduced to Shmi, but not just to Shmi Skywalker Lars. So right off the bat, and that's literally the first three words. Shmi Skywalker Lars. So immediately we are told it's his mother again. So if we remember that her name is Shmi, recognize her, but Lars. So we know she is married now, which can also have certain implications that she might be free. We know she is. It is kind of suggested early on, but then at the end it is specifically explained that Clegg, I'm not sure, Lars had met her in Mos Espa one day. Exactly when is unclear, but doesn't necessarily matter too much. Met her, fell in love, bought her from Watto, freed her, and then asked her to marry him. In that order. Apparently, was a specific point that he only asked her once she was free, which makes a lot of sense for various reasons. But yeah. So we immediately get, by the first three words, she's married and potentially free. So it's like that. That's actually really, really neat. We also now have that Anakin is now 20 years old. That it is his birthday at the time of this chapter, which means it has in fact been slightly more than 10 years since The Phantom Menace. Because in The Phantom Menace, he was 9, turning 10 soon. We don't exactly know how long, but it still is. It's been a little bit more than 10 years. So she is, I assume it's like, at the edge of the Lars homestead, looking out. And it is at night. And Owen comes up to join her briefly. And from this we get the explanation, because at first I thought that it was, like she's just there because it's no, it's not really clear right away. But she's looking out into the night and describes, this special night. So I at first was thinking this special night, his birthday. I was initially thinking that she does this to mark his birthday. But when Owen gets there, no, it's explained. She goes out every night to this like edge of the homestead and is looking out. Wanting to see if there are any transports coming in, because she is hoping that Anakin will return. Which I do find a little odd, because it's a no mail system. It's like she could write a letter. I mean, true, the Jedi might be like, no, we can't deliver this to him, because she'd have to write it to the Jedi Temple, but still is. She could. Anyhow. But it is, the relationship between her and Owen is actually very interesting here, because it's like, you should come in, because he does mention it's dangerous to be out here at night, which is potentially foreshadowing the Tusken Raiders taking her, which we see in the movie, and that's basically when she gets introduced in the movie. Is then, whereas this literally chapter 1. So I guess it is that this is when she was captured. Different day, but same thing, that she goes out. Yeah, you should come in, because he's telling her it's dangerous, and it is getting late too. But then the next thing from him is, no starship tonight, Mom. So even though they are only step family, and he would have been, because it does describe that he is also about the same age as Anakin, so he would have been 9 or 10 years old at the first time they met. It still is, and the way this describes it, they have a very loving relationship, which is really neat. Okay. but yeah, and there's one line that he uses twice here, and it's a I really do like it. I really do like it. So, no starship tonight, she replied. Then she looked back up at the starry canopy. Anakin must be busy saving the galaxy or chasing smugglers and other outlaws. He has to do those things, you know. Then I shall sleep more soundly from this night forward, Owen replied with a grin. And by the way, it is mentioned, I think, earlier that he has a face that always betrays what's in his heart. But then there's also, you know, some talk here, and it even says that this is like a speech she's given him repeatedly. You know, unlike prior nights when he's come out to her like this. Um, her giving a justification for letting Anakin go. Hang on just a second. I could not have kept him with me even if we were not slaves. Annie has so much more to give the galaxy. His gifts could not be contained by Tatooine. He belongs out there, flying across the stars, saving planets. He was born to be a Jedi, born to give so much more to so many more. That is why I sleep better at night, Owen reiterated. And when Shmi looked at him, she saw that his grin was wider than ever. This is... I really do like this, and especially that line, because it is a very appropriate line for Owen to give. Well, any... This kind of, you know, stepbrother... Well, he is a stepbrother, but, you know, just this kind of male character, who has never met Anakin, has only heard about him from Shmi, and potentially other people, because I'm saying he was the first one to win the Boonta Eve, the first human to win the Boonta Eve race. But to still have this positive thing to state like that, and the smile there, which, as I said, his face betrays his emotions. It seems like he also genuinely has a love for this brother he has never met, and doesn't even know if he ever will. I mean, I really do like that. It is very well written here, and it is the kind of very simple statement as well. He doesn't need to go into any detail. It's just that. It's very good. And also mentioned, even before getting to that, that Owen understands her pain at Anakin not being there, and he does what he can to try to support her with that, you know, to still be a loving son to her and all that. No jealousy, no envy of Anakin, nothing like that. It's just, you know, yeah, Owen had accepted Shmi's pain and had always given her a shoulder to lean on. Which makes some sense, you know, for him to do it, because, like, well, why isn't her husband doing that? Potentially he is, but Owen is in the unique position of being a surrogate son, being a stepson, but, you know, a replacement to Anakin for her. And it's like, this is, you know, it's subtle, but there's a lot of density here, technically, in that it's expressing that he accepts that role, and she isn't trying to make him into Anakin or anything like that, and it's just, they have this relationship here that is, it works, it's healthy for them, and is very loving, but it is they both know that, yes, they wish Anakin were there. And it's just, I really do like this. Yeah, I really do like this. I really do like how it was written here. There's also a line here that is interesting, because at one point she gets a flash of, you know, what if he's out there? What if he's hurt? And Owen replies, "It's better to die in pursuit of your dreams than to live a life without hope," Owen said rather unconvincingly. And there's a reason, it then explains why. Owen, like his father, was about as grounded in simple pragmatism as any man could be. She understood that he had said that only for her benefit, and that made it all the more special. Which, again, goes back to what I was saying, their relationship. She knows he doesn't necessarily believe that, but he would still say that because it will bring her comfort. So she, you know, the love that Owen does have for her, she recognizes that, and she does value it. And it's also, like, he's not making fun of her or anything. So I still find that line interesting, because you wouldn't expect Uncle Owen to have such a statement, to make such a statement. So do we get a change between this and the next book that explains that? Or is it's also possible that, you know, he becomes more pragmatic, he becomes more like his father over time, and could even see it as, Shmi is my mother, stepmother, but mother. And I am here to comfort her. So I will say these things and do these things to bring her comfort. Luke is my nephew, but basically my son. It's my responsibility to raise him, not to comfort him, but to raise him. And I need to raise him the best way I can, which is going to be how I was raised. So it could be that there's the explanation there, which is one of those. And remember, completely different authors between those books as well. But it's one of those things where you likely don't need to, unless his character does continue to be shown being this more loving and stepping outside of his usual character, not just being a pragmatist like his father. If we continue to see it like that, then I will be concerned. Then it's like, okay, we need an explanation. But if it is more so, no, he is like this, he is just trying to comfort her, be kind to her, show his love for her, then it's like, I'm okay with just accepting it as what I just described, that his roles with these two different characters, with Shmi and with Luke, are so different that he does just behave with them differently. Completely appropriate and completely accurate to real life. Alright. Yeah, so that's actually all I got. But yeah, this is... I really, really am liking that chapter 1. Chapter 2 here, I'm just briefly seeing Baru is mentioned, so we're staying on Tatooine, at least for a bit. We may end up going back to Anakin and such. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention in the previous chapter, in the prelude, that I found odd. Obi-Wan refers, and it might be because it's coming over a comlink, and so it's just, like, not coming over well. Obi-Wan is calling him Ancien. And I'm just... And it even says here, Ancien came the call again from the front. Anakin, get up here. I'm not sure why he'd be calling him Ancien. Like, where that is coming from as a nickname. Or if it is just, no, the speech is being garbled, but then the last time it's like, more forceful. Anakin, get up here. Don't know. But we will see. We will see. Yeah, and I hope that this new webcam setup is working well. I'm so far quite happy. I just may try moving it over somewhere. I don't think I will. I think I like it here, but I may try moving it over so then I would be like that. But I think turning like this is fine, especially since I have the tracking turned off, so it's not trying to follow me around. All right. See you next time.